Shalom, 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 Israel. This is Brother Amaran from GMS London Forecasters coming to you with another lesson in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. I want to give double honors also to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And peace and blessings to the brothers doing the work in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushai in truth and in sincerity. So let's crack on. So, as you might have heard already, in the United States now, Facebook are testing this this message that they're putting out. So let's just read it. So it says Facebook tests extremist content warning messages. So it says Facebook is testing a feature in the US that asks users if they are worried somebody they know is becoming an extremist. Now, so before reading on, coming into this truth, man, that's how a lot of, family members, loved ones and friends and whatever, and they start to view you, in an extreme manner, because, when we come out with the scriptures, man, we're coming out with the full truth of the Bible, and the world doesn't understand or know that what the truth of the Bible is. First and foremost, they think that it's for everybody, not knowing that it's for one nation of people. Secondly, they think that the Most High loves everybody. All right, which is a false narrative, man. The Lord only loves Israel. All right, so these are the more I don't know if it's less extreme, but these are the more, I don't know. Let's just say that these are the more or less extreme points that we talk about. It says other users may also receive an alert saying that they may have been exposed to extreme content. The trial messages are part of Facebook's redirect initiative, which aims to combat extremism. The pop-ups redirect users to a support page. So it says this test is part of our larger work to assess ways to provide resources and support to people on Facebook who may have engaged with or were exposed to extremist content, or may know someone who is at risk, a Facebook spokeswoman said. Basically, this is asking you, or asking people, to basically, I don't want to use the word snitch, but that's, it's just the word that we use, right? Let's say inform. Let's say inform on them, man. That's what it's asking you to do. Now, extremisms, according to Esau, could be many things. A lot of people might say white supremacists, black identity extremists, Muslim extremists, or Islam extremists, I should say. There's a group proclaiming themselves as the Moors, man. So you got all these Black Lives Matter. That's another thing that they'll probably throw into that mix. And they're thinking of the Hebrew Israelites, man. And why? Because we're probably the most extreme. We are the most extreme. Let's keep it real. We are the most extreme, man. What we do and what we say is basically committing, wherever we are in the land or in the world, we would be viewed as treasonous, traitors, man, or treasonous. Why? Because we're standing out here, or we're putting out videos proclaiming the downfall of the rulership of this world, the wicked rulership, putting the leaders and the rulers of this world in fetters of iron, man. Wanting the coming destruction of this earth, man. or the people on the rulership of it. Right, we're proclaiming that the so-called white man is the Edomite that the Bible speaks of, who the Lord hates and who's going to destroy. You know, so this is unsettling to the powers that be. You know, so what we say basically is the most extreme thing you could possibly say, man. You know, there's not we're not out here trying to talk smooth. Sometimes the scriptures say, man, you have to be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove, man. So sometimes you have to be careful how you say things if you want to keep putting out your content of this truth, man. Putting the word out, because we're coming into these times now where, you know, Esau's trying to put everything on lock, and now he's trying to use, you know, close people to you, friends and family and whatnot, to try and shut you down, man. And it's not hard, because a lot of these people, or a lot of people that you may know, they want this world to continue on, man. They're not on the same mindset as the men of the Lord. They don't. We want the forthcoming destruction to come and not tarry, man. Right? We're hastening the coming of Yahushua, right? Because we want him to come and reset this place, clean it up, and sit on his throne, man, and rule this world in righteousness, man, under the Heavenly Father, all right? So the world doesn't want that. So let's read on so I can get some scriptures. It says the tech firm is working with non-governmental organizations and academic experts on this project she added. So what does that mean then? So they're asking you to maybe, you know, inform on extreme groups that could actually be dangerous. But this isn't a government request. This is just a company's request, man. So that shows you the power and who we're really dealing with here. These companies, these Facebooks, these Googles, these YouTubes are all here to social engineer the planet. That's what they're really here for, man. That's why everyone's doing the same thing. Everyone's talking the same talk. Everyone's hearing the same news. And there's a collective thought. There's a hive mind now of the people. And if you go outside it, as the men of the Lord do, then you're deemed extreme. So let's finish this and I can get some scriptures. In fact, let me just get some anyway. So let's get this one first. 2 Corinthians 2:11 says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So this is one of his devices, man. Now we're coming to a time now where the separation, man, this divide and conquer is being played out. You know, with the Maxine and everything else. Now you're gonna see who's down with this this new world order and who's not. All right, and you're gonna see that with this message project that they're doing, because you're gonna see who's really not down for any rebellion, man. Because this is what the men of the Lord are doing, rebelling against this kingdom, man, and the wicked ways of it. So now you're gonna know those are the people who are doing the informing, man. They're clearly gonna be down for this wicked kingdom, man. They don't want it to end, man. They're quite comfortable amongst all this wickedness. I'll read it again. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So no, we're not ignorant, man. We already knew this was going to happen, man. We already knew this was going to happen. He says, why in these times? It's best to be by yourself, man, if possible. I'm going to start from 12. Luke 21:12 says, but But before all these, and it's talking about all the plagues that are going to be sent, all the, the deceptions that are going to come on this earth. It says, and this is Yahushua speaking. It says, but before all these, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, and brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. And it shall turn to you for a testimony. Right? So, yeah, this is all that precursor to them knowing they already know, basically, who's coming up against them anyway. It says, settle it therefore in your hearts, not to meditate before what ye shall answer. So let's not sit around trying to think of what we're going to say when the man comes to get us, man. There's no point. It's time to start putting everything in the hands of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, because it already is in his hands anyway, but the understanding of that needs to be clear. Right? There's nothing, whatever's going to happen is the way it's going to happen. It says, verse 15 says, for I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist. And that mouth and the wisdom is the scriptures. As long as we're talking out of this, man, the word can't be defeated, man. All right. That's why it's called in the scriptures a two-edged sword, man. It says, verse 16 says, and ye shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinsfolks and friends. And some of you shall they cause to be put to death. So this is a small precursor. You think it's not going to happen when it starts really hitting the fan? People are going to be calling you out, man. It's going to be that Judas effect, man. People going to be plotting for the authorities to come and take you away. And what did Yahushua do, man? He didn't try to fight them, man. He accepted his fate. All right? He accepted his fate, man. So, because some of us are going to be like the pilgrims on the earth, man. All right? And some of us are going to be cool. It's just that simple. So, the only thing you should be meditating on is, the times and the scriptures, man. Not meditating on what you're going to say when, if and when they come for you. All I know is this. Denying Yahushua, man. You don't want to be doing that. Denying Yahushua, man. That's worthy of death. So, verse 17 says, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. And you see what they're already doing with the vaccine now? People hate people hate, they're trying hard it, but they truly hate those of us that don't want to take this vaccine. So when things get worse, who do you think they're going to blame? It's all precursors, man, to what's coming. Let's get back into that article, finish it off. So it says, becoming an extremist. Screenshots of the pop-ups were posted on social media. One asked, are you concerned that someone you know is becoming an extremist? You may have been exposed to harmful extremist content recently. Another said, violent groups try to manipulate your anger and disappointment. And you see, I know men of the Lord that post things up on Instagram on a daily basis, man. Now, I'm not one to do that. I keep mine confined to YouTube. All right? I'm not saying they should or they shouldn't do that. I'm just saying that's not for me. But there's plenty of brothers that do that. All right? And there's not a lot that this devil can do about that, man. Because the word's got to come out. So, but my point I'm getting to is that's the exposure they're talking about, man. Because you might be just, looking at some bullshit on social media and come across the men of the Lord, man. And what are they going to be doing? They're going to be teaching the truth of the scriptures, man. And we don't play, man. We teach it in the most hard, extreme, and truthful way that it is, because that's because the scriptures are hard, extreme, and truthful, man. He says you can take action now to protect yourself and others. You see, they're instilling fear into people, man. It says both prompts direct users to a page with support related to extremism. So they're trying to make it out like it's a support thing, when really it's not. It's about information. They want you to inform. There's no doubt about that. It says Facebook said tests identified both users who may have been exposed to rule-breaking extremist content and users who had previously been the subject of enforcement on the platform. The company told Reuters, it does not remove some content and accounts which violate its rules proactively before the material is seen by users, but that other content may be viewed before it's taken down. It says we're seeing an evolving variety of techniques by social media companies to address the seemingly growing problems of mis and disinformation on their platforms, said Jess McBeef, online safety consultant at the UK Safer Internet Centre. And this is anything basically that goes against their narrative, man. All right? Anything that's exposing the truth about what's really going on out here. Finishing off, it says, what's interesting about this approach is that it taps into the idea that we don't believe we are influenced by what we see online, but other people are. She added, questioning whether this was how users behaved on the platform. So it is something, but these social media platforms are to influence you. That's why these silly people out here, any challenges that are out there on the internet, they want to do that viral videos, and everyone copying everybody else doing the same thing. But everyone seems to think that they're individuals, man. The only ones that are outside of the box are the men of the Lord, man, because we're not conformed to this world, man. I'll read this from the top. So it's John 17. Starting from the top, it says, these words spake Yahushua and lifted up his eyes to heaven and said, Father, the hour is come. Glorify thy Son, that thy Son also may glorify thee. As thou hast given him power over all flesh, that he should give eternal life to as many as thou hast given him. And this is life eternal, that they might know thee, the only true power, and Yahushua HaMashiach, whom thou hast sent. I have glorified thee on the earth. I have finished the work which thou gavest me to do. And now, Father, glorify thou me with thine own self, with the glory which I had with thee before the world was. Because remember, Yahushua has that first spirit, man. He created he was the one that the Lord put in charge to create everything. And the elect were with him from the very beginning. It says, verse 6 says, I have manifested thy name unto the men which thou gavest me out of the world. Thine they were, and thou gavest them to them me, and they have kept thy word. He was keeping the word, bringing out the word of the scriptures, man, the truth of the Bible in its proper form, which is the one true form. It says, now they have known that all things whatsoever thou hast given me are of thee, for I have given them the words which thou gavest me, which is the scriptures, and they have received them, and have known surely that I came out from thee, and they have believed that thou didst send me. It says, I pray for them. I pray not for the world, but for them which thou hast given me, for they are thine. So Yahushua is only praying for the elect, man. Just like we only are calling out for the elect. We ain't calling out for anybody else, man, because anybody else ain't going to get it. And that's including our own people. Verse 11 says, and now I am no more in the world, but these are in the world, and I come to thee, Holy Father. Keep through thine own name those whom thou hast given me, that they may be one as we are. This is how it says it, praying for the elect, man. It says, while I was with them in the world, I kept them in thy name. Those that thou gavest me, I have kept, and none of them is lost, but the son of perdition, that the scripture might be fulfilled. And now come I to thee, and these things I speak in the world, that they might have my joy fulfilled in themselves. So like verse 14, I have given them thy word, and the world hath hated them, because they are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. And that's been proven on many occasions, man. Scoffers on the comment boards, scoffers in the streets, people wanting to kill the prophets and harm the prophets, man. Because we're upsetting the balance, their balance on this world, man. Their imbalance, I should say. You know. Here we are talking about wanting the destruction of this earth, man. Listen, we're out here, you know, this is why we're the extremists, man. We're out here telling people of this world that it's going to be destroyed by nuclear fire, man. World War III is coming, man. No, what person in the world wants to hear that? You know, we're exposing the fact that these people that are running this earth, Job 9 and 24, are wicked and corrupt. You know, we call them out by their name, man. We call their name out, man. We call out names, man. You know, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Gettys, and all these underlings that they have, these politicians and these, you know, bankers, these other bankers and these major corporation controllers, man. We call them out by their names, man. You know, Jeff Bezos is in Mark Zuckerberg's and the likes of, man. They're all part of it, and we call them out on their own platforms, man. The same platforms that they're trying to sow their disinformation on, when we're coming up with the real information, and they're calling our information the disinformation. And that's why we're hated, man. He says, verse 15 says, I pray not that thou shouldest take them out of the world, but that thou shouldest keep them from the evil. Yeah, because the bad times are coming, man. So we need to, you know, stay strong in the spirit so we can get through this. He says, they are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. And I think I made the point. I'm not going to read any more of that. So let's just get a few more scriptures and I'll close. So this is Matthew 10 and 22. Salakia. I'll start from 16. It says, behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Right? But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues. And ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my name's sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. But when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what ye shall speak. For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you. So it's really time to start really getting spiritual now, man. And that's why I said that, in the world, then Christians say, let Jesus take the wheel, man. We're going to have to let Yahweh Shai take the wheel. All right. He says, and the brother shall deliver up the brother to death, and the father the child, and the children shall rise up against their parents and cause them to be put to death. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth to the end shall be saved. But when they persecute you in this city, flee into another, for verily I say unto you, ye shall not have gone over the cities of Israel till the Son of Man become. All right. So, and that's going to happen, man. That's going to happen. That's coming. Like, brothers going to have to flee. If that's their lot, they're going to have to flee, man. Be on the lam, as they say. We've got time to get a couple more, and let's do that. Here's another one. So, with all the prophecies, verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. There shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. All right? So some major hate coming, man. It's like, persecution is on its way. Like you've never understood it before. If you think you had a bad time at camp one time, remember when we used to do camp in a place in the south of London, southeast of London, and it used to get crazy out there, man. And most of the intensity came from our own people, man. They wanted to kill us, man. Some of them wanted to kill us, man. And that's the demonic spirit that they have on them because we're bringing out the truth. All right, last one. 2 Timothy 3:10, it says, but thou hast fully known my doctrine, manner of life, purpose, faith, long-suffering, charity, and patience. All right? So, our doctrine is known. All right? It's fully known. These powers that be know what we're about. They know we're fully not down with their system. So this is just another way of them trying to get us entrapped, man. Because they don't know who everyone is. They're doing this under the guise of, safety. But really, it's for information. Because that's what they're all about, man. They're really just about information. They got to know everything. To keep hold of the way, that's how you keep control. By knowing everything. And it says our doctrine, man. Our doctrine is not the same as everybody else's, man. Our doctrine is extreme. But it's the truth. It says a manner of life, which is how we live by the word, man. Our purpose is to do this work, man, to bring out this word of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man, to seal the elect, and to bring out the prophecies, man. And our faith, which has been given to us, our long suffering, right? Because our patience, man, our suffering, man. We have to. This isn't an easy ride, man. And it's about to get even harder. So anyway, I'm gonna close out on that. hit the half-hour mark, so I'm going to close out, giving all praises and all glory to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Kakwadash. You know, Lord, when this was edifying, and I say Shalom.